even worshipped throughout the subcontinent. Its bite can deliver a powerful neurotoxic venom, which brings on paralysis, and if untreated,
death.
What's up, everybody? Kier Gomes here, and welcome back. Hope everybody's staying safe out there, guys. Things are getting increasingly more bizarre out there, so I myself have been quarantining myself, practicing social distancing, not really leaving the apartment. It is a little bit weird, but it's what we got to do to stay safe, so I hope you guys are taking all the precautions that you need to take. But today I am here to talk to you about something that I am super excited for. This is the silver lining to the cloud that has been my week, and that is the new Paperwave V3 Venomous Edition playing cards by Paperwave and Lorenzo Cobo. Now, if you didn't know this, Lorenzo is the creator of Paperwave. He's also a really cool guy, and I was lucky enough to be able to get a prototype of the new deck, so that way I could talk to you guys about the back design, give you some details and some insight into what this deck is going to be like. And I have to tell you, I know I say this a lot, I genuinely am super excited and so thrilled about this deck. So there we go. Before we take a look at it, please do drop a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And without further ado, let's roll that intro and get you guys on your way.
Let's go.
Okay, so just a little bit of history. If you guys aren't familiar with the Paperwave brand, one, I think you definitely will be after this deck, but just in case you're not already, here's what we can get into. The Paperwave deck, which is the V1, was, in my opinion, one of the better decks of the year that it came out. The V1 features a very retro synthwave style 80s aesthetic on the back design. It was printed on crushed classic stock and had some customization on the faces, which was very geared towards cardistry and also used for Magic. I do have a full review for this deck on my channel, so I will make sure that I link that below so you guys can see it. Really awesome deck. So after the Paperwave deck, there was the Paperwave V2 Glyph edition, which I also reviewed a prototype for here on this channel, but those actually just got fulfilled off of Kickstarter. The Glyph Edition Paperwave deck is a completely different take on the Paperwave V1. It's completely monochromatic in that every aspect of the deck on the back design is done in black and white. And this deck was definitely 100% made for cardistry, as every single back design on the deck is completely different from the one before it. This deck was printed on crushed premium paper stock. It feels extremely good. Now, this definitely is a deck that I would say was made for cardistry. It was not made for magicians, just because every back design is different. That can make a lot of effects very impractical to do. So definitely a cardistry style deck, and definitely a deck that I would recommend. If you haven't picked this up, I'll leave a link below where you can get it. So you've seen V1, you've seen V2, and now it is time to show you guys V3. This is not going to be a full deck review, and the reason for that is because this is not the actual deck. This is a prototype. Although it still feels pretty good and looks really good, I think that I'm going to save the review for when we get the actual decks in a couple of months. So without further ado, here's what it looks like. Ooh. Now, this is without doubt my favorite Paperwave deck so far. I really like the first one. I really like the second one. I absolutely adore this one. The Paperwave V3 deck is called Venomous, as is denoted on the back design of the cards. It is a one-way card back with a lot of nostalgic 90s colors in it, and as well has a very different aesthetic than the first two decks. The Venomous deck will be limited to 1,000 decks in its print run. The paper stock is undecided, so maybe leave a comment down below what you think the paper stock of this should be. It will be with USPCC, but it seems like the card stock has not been decided yet. Now, the back design of this deck looks extremely impressive to me. It's a one-way back design, so it looks different if you hold it this way than if you hold it this way, but I really enjoy it. This was actually designed by Aku Vig. I think I'm saying that right, AQ Vig. Really, really talented graphic designer. As you can tell, looks extremely good on the faces of the cards. Everything from the jokers to the aces to the numeric cards and the courts were designed by Lorenzo himself. As you can see, everything is done in black and white. So the diamonds and hearts are black, as well as the spades and clubs. Some of the numeric face cards feature different icons as the pips. For example, on the 3 of spades, you can see this Paperwave kind of emblem in the middle. On the 4 of hearts, you can see another kind of glyph-looking icon replacing one of the hearts. And that stays consistent throughout the deck, which I think is really cool. Now, another thing that I really like about this deck is the jokers. So one of the jokers has this 3-eyed smiley face, and it's the Paperwave diamonds as the eyes. This is actually also Lorenzo Cobo's Insta avatar, so you've probably seen that before. That is a dope joker. And I love that it is not a duplicate joker. The other one says Paperwave on it, and then has some graffiti right over it. So another really interesting joker card. I love that. That is super cool. The prototype also came with an ad card that looks like this. Now this might change depending on the card stock that the deck actually gets printed on, but just a really cool little ad card. And this is, again, definitely a very cardistry dominant deck. Doesn't really require any gaffs. Yeah, definitely way to go on this. This came out amazing. I didn't know what to expect. Just seeing the difference between Paperwave V1 and then the Glyph edition, which was the V2, I really didn't know what I could expect. And I think getting this was just such a pleasant surprise. The colors, the everything. I mean, this is a deck that you can tell is going to go a long way in the community, and I think for good reason. It's really, really, really beautiful. So big shout out to Lorenzo for letting me do this video. I really appreciate it. I really believe in your brand. I believe in your vision. So I'm going to leave Lorenzo and the Paperwave Instagrams down below in the description. Please go check them out. If you haven't followed them yet, you are definitely missing out. This is inspiring stuff, really. As soon as that deck gets printed, you can look forward to a full review in terms of handling, any design updates, all that good stuff to come. Thank you again, Lorenzo, for letting me do this video on the day of the back design reveal. That is really awesome. I appreciate it. These decks will be available for purchase in a couple of months as of right now, so more information on that as it comes. You can always stay tuned for more info if you follow everybody that I linked down below. And with all that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day. I know I will. Stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. All that fun stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.